Hey guys, let's talk cat and dog food. This is something that every owner has to be faced with. Every time you go to the store, you decide, am I gonna buy this food? Am I gonna buy this food? Am I gonna change? So it's a factor that comes upon all of us and is sometimes quite confusing. It's not always straightforward to know, is this food more expensive because it's actually better, or does it just have a different marketing scheme? So first off, talking about food fads. So things that are just kind of popular right now. Food fads in animals tend to follow human food fads. For example, there was a really big fad with grain-free diets, and some humans really benefit and need a grain-free diet. Dogs, on the other hand, do not do well with a grain-free diet. A lot of different companies came out with grain-free food, not knowing that it is strongly, and now we have the science to back it, correlated directly with a serious heart condition. So you do not want to give just a grain-free diet to your dog. They can develop dilated cardiomyopathy or a really large heart that doesn't function well. Another big fad diet that I've had a couple owners ask me about is vegan or vegetarianism for their cat. No, don't have a cat if you want a vegetarian pet. By definition, cats are carnivores. They eat almost mostly meat. So you cannot give a cat a vegetarian diet. You're going to deprive them of really important nutrients. They are not going to have good digestive health, and they're not going to have overall health. So do not try to force what works for you onto your pet. Ask your veterinarian. So moving on to brands of food. The number one thing that you want to look for when you're looking for dog food or cat food is the AAFCO statement, AAFCO. This is the Association of American Feed Control Officials. It's kind of like seeing FDA approved on a medication. This is something that helps make sure that there is some nutritional backing to what the company is promoting on this food. And I say this because, believe it or not, there are many, many brands that are small that have formulated diets and they aren't nutritionally complete. They may not even be fully nutritionally studied. So they don't know if this is actually going to be the best diet for your dog. And if you have the dog on nothing but that diet for years, there can be serious health implications. Same thing with cats. You want to make sure that it is the best diet for your pet. And just because it's really expensive does not mean it's a better diet. That's what's really scary. So these labels, a lot of companies pour tons of money into advertising, and they should honestly just be putting it into a veterinary nutritionist to make sure the food is actually good. How to be safe is choosing the big companies. So things like Hills, Purina, Royal Canin. If you're ever unsure, you can call these companies, look on their website, see if they list a veterinary nutritionist, and if they don't, email them, call them, find out if they have a staffed veterinary nutritionist, someone that looks at the food, helped develop the food, and does quality control. You wouldn't eat a diet as your only source of food and not know if it's nutritionally complete for you. So don't do that for your pets. Now, there are prescription diets out there that your veterinarian may recommend. So if your cat has a kidney issue, or if your cat or dog has bladder stones, there's certain types that can be dissolved with a special diet that changes pH, that helps support the kidneys. So those diets can be helpful. There are diets for weight management, for joint health, all sorts of different things that could be really beneficial. They're a little bit more specialized. The downside of prescription diets, you do need a prescription. You need to go to a veterinarian for them, but they're really important. On that note, there are diets for dogs with food and cats with food allergies. So food allergies in animals, fun fact, it is usually the protein source that they're allergic to, not peanuts. Thank goodness, because dogs love peanut butter. It's usually the protein source. So with that said, if you just go to the store and say, oh, he might have a food allergy to chicken, I'm gonna pick rabbit or kangaroo, something that sounds novel and like a new protein, not all food companies do the quality control that you would expect. So in food that's made for humans, they have to say, this was made in a factory that also processes peanuts. This might have been on a conveyor belt and right before it was peanuts or another allergen. In animals, for the food production, they frequently have many different types of food on the same construction equipment and the same line. So you really need these prescription diets sometimes if your animal has a true food allergy, and something you really need to avoid there. Moving on to, if you do not want to go buy a food, if you want to make your animal's food, good for you. That is amazing. That is so much work, and it is so caring and awesome. However, please hire a veterinary nutritionist or reach out to someone to make sure that it is a fully formulated diet, because you can't just feed chicken, carrots, and broccoli, for your animal's whole life. That's not going to be formulated. Same thing with cats. You can't just feed tuna fish from a can. You're going to be lacking really important nutrients. So make sure you reach out to a nutritionist. The real important question too, people always ask me, is how much to feed my pet. So if you go with one of these big brands, they have to list either on their package or certainly on their website how many kcals or kilocalories per cup, for instance. So they'll say this cup contains 300 kcals. And how you use that information is they frequently have charts that'll list your pet's body weight and age approximate. So if they're a puppy, very different, they need a different diet. But and based on their body weight, how many cups per day your pet may need. Other factors to consider in that include, is your animal really active? Are they also getting a whole bunch of treats? So different variables. Also, just like humans, I might be able to eat half of what someone else eats to have the same body weight. So metabolisms differ. A really cool trick that I like to use is the hand or the palm versus fist. So determining the body condition of your pet, there are a lot more variables than this. But first, because of how animals carry their weight differently, an area where it doesn't differ that much is along the rib cage. So the side of their body here. You can actually feel the ribs or see the ribs and try to determine, are they a little bit under conditioned? Do they need more food? Are they over conditioned? We need to back down or increase their exercise. So the way to tell is if you see the ribs, if it's like your closed fist, clearly they need warm food. They're under conditioned, they're quite thin. On the other hand, literally, if you feel that there's like a cushion over each rib, you kind of have to press to actually feel the bone there, like the palm of your hand, that's a little bit over conditioned. We need to start backing off. Now, what's kind of perfect is the flat of your hand, so you feel the ribs, you can see the ribs a little bit, but there's still nice muscling there. So I hope that's helpful to help better understand a little bit more about diet choices, about what these different companies are offering, why veterinarians have an opinion about what your pet's eating, and hopefully a little bit better understand of how much to feed. Thanks, guys.